Well, the Dana Bash, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz interview is over, and there were two parts that really stuck out in my mind. First was when Kamala was discussing when President Biden actually called her to let her know that she would be taking his place in the 2024 election. And the second is when Tim Walz discussed his son Gus Walz's response and emotional reaction to him speaking at the DNC.
When he called you and said he was pulling out of the race, what was that like? And did he offer to endorse you right away, or did you ask for it?
It was a Sunday, so here, I'll give you a little too much information.
Go for it. There's no such thing, Madam Vice President.
My family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces, and we had just had pancakes and, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes. And that's how I learned about it.
And what about the endorsement? Did you ask for it?
He was very clear that he was going to support me.
So when he called to tell you, he said, "I'm pulling out of the race and I'm going to support you."
Well, my first thought was not about me, to be honest with you. My first thought was about him, to be honest. I think history is going to show a number of things about Joe Biden's presidency. I think history is going to show that in so many ways it was transformative, be it on what we have accomplished around finally investing in America's infrastructure, investing in new economies, in new industries, what we have done to bring our allies back together and have confidence in who we are as America and grow that alliance, what we have done to stand true to our principles, including one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I think history is going to show not only has Joe Biden led an administration that has achieved those extraordinary successes, but the character of the man is one that he has been in his life and career, including as a president, quite selfless and puts the American people first.
I just have to ask you both about two standout moments, aside, of course, from the addresses that you both gave, but standout moments that were perhaps unexpected during the convention. You mentioned one of them, Governor. A moment that you shared, that the world shared with your son, Gus. You were speaking, the camera caught him, so incredibly proud of you, so emotional, saying, "That's my dad."
Yeah, I don't know as a father I could have ever imagined that. I'm grateful for so many reasons to be on this ticket, but that moment, to understand what was really important, to have my son feel a sense of pride in me, that I was trying to do the right thing. And it was, you try and protect your kids, it brings notoriety and things, but it was just such a visceral, emotional moment that I'm grateful I got to experience it, and I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him, I'm proud of Hope, I'm proud of Gwen. She's a wonderful mother, and these are great kids. And I think the one thing is, talking about the era we're in, is our politics can be better. It can be different. We can show some of these things, and we can have families involved in this. And I hope that I hope people felt that out there, and I hope they hug their kids a little tighter, because you just never know, and life can be kind of hard.
And last question, Madam Vice President, the photograph that has gone viral. You were speaking, one of your grandnieces that you were just talking about was watching you accept the nomination. You didn't explicitly talk about gender or race in your speech, but it obviously means a lot to a lot of people, and that viral picture really says it. What does it mean to you?
I am running because I believe that I am the best person to do this job at this moment. For all Americans, regardless of race and gender. But I did see that photograph, and I was deeply touched by it. And you're right, it's the back of her head, her two little braids, and And then I'm in the front of the photograph, obviously speaking. And it's very humbling. It's very humbling in many ways.
Did she talk to you about it afterwards?
Oh, she had a lot to talk about. She had a lot. She listened to everything, and she listens to everything.
Give you your hot takes?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Two great moments that really showed that Kamala and Tim Walz are just people, where you can't say that for the other side. J.D. Vance is totally weird, and Donald Trump is Donald Trump, the guy who was photographed smiling and giving a thumbs up while standing over a fallen soldier's grave at the Arlington National Cemetery just a couple days ago. Now, I do want to point out how ridiculous CNN and Dana Bash were in this. She only asked questions about attacks from Donald Trump. Attacks on Kamala Harris's statement 5 years ago that she would ban fracking, and the attacks about immigration. I mean, I think it kind of got to a point where Kamala was a little disappointed in Dana Bash and actually called her Dana on purpose.
That tells me, from my experience as vice president, we can do it without banning fracking. In fact, Dana, excuse me, I cast the tie-breaking vote that actually increased leases for fracking as vice president.
Dana Bash, do better, please. You're also the one who let Donald Trump just get away with lie after lie in his debate with Joe Biden. So this, I mean, if I was running your network, this is strike two. No questions about any of the successes of the Biden administration. No questions on the hostage deal that they just worked out. No, it was, you said 5 years ago that you were going to ban fracking, and immigration is terrible under you. So answer that. I mean, really, really pathetic, really disappointing. If I were Kamala, I wouldn't do another interview with them until, maybe well into her first term. But I want to know what your reflections are on the interview. What great moments stood out for you, or whether you totally disagree with me and you think Dana did an okay job. Thanks for watching. My name is Brendan with Reflect. See you next time.